Hey everybody, this is Shock. I hope you're doing excellent. I am doing awesome. Hey, I have some very good news for you today. I was doing some research and I was going through the most powerful, look at this cool car in front of me. I was going through a list, which I got right here in my formerly Bible reading hand. I was going through a list of the most effective groups in society, and I compared atheism and I compared Islam and Hinduism, and I got all the data together, and I'm going to tell you the largest, most powerful, effective group, which one won. Christianity. Here's Christianity. Let me see if I can show you. There's Christianity at the top of the list. Now, for those of you that are wondering, was atheism on the list? Well, atheism was on the list, but they were down at the very, very bottom, even below Shintoism. Atheism is but a squeak. It's like a little mouse on the, picture atheism on the earth, and it's one little mouse, and it's going squeak, squeak. Atheism is but a squeak in society. It really isn't accomplishing anything. So I started researching because I'm like, well, I got to find out something that atheism has accomplished, because the most powerful force for good and the largest force is Christianity. So to be fair, I looked up some of the things, some statistics on atheism, and did you know that atheism is number one as the number one most distrusted group in society? I kid you not. You can do the research, Google it. Type in atheism or atheist most distrusted in society. How could atheism not even be like in the top 10 most powerful forces? Of course, remember, Christianity is number one. Largest groups in society, yet atheism has immediately shot to number one as the most distrusted people in society. Interesting that they would be number one as the most distrusted people. In other words, in the real world, people don't trust atheists. Now, I have a theory, because if you lie to yourself, would you not lie to someone else? And I'm just telling you, in the real world, that's what people believe. They believe atheists are lying to themselves. And certainly, if someone would lie to themselves, they would have no problem lying to you, so you can't trust them. That's what society believes about atheism. You cannot change. Those are the facts. Now, here on YouTube, YouTube is very, very pro-atheist. For example, let me tell you something that happened. A bunch of Christians noticed that there's a video titled "The Bible is BS," which is against YouTube's guideline. Did you know that YouTube manually protects that video from being flagged down, even though it violates YouTube guidelines? Well, the Christians put up a video to test to see if they could prove that YouTube is discriminating against Christians. And the test proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that YouTube does discriminate against Christians. The Christians made a video to coincide with the video "The Bible is BS," and they made a video titled "Atheism is BS." Within 24 hours, YouTube removed that video. Atheism is BS. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, as I read this on the camera here, the video "The Bible is BS" is still up. So atheists are really afraid of free speech. They are. Especially YouTube, the people that run YouTube. They do have employees behind the scene that are totally anti-Christian. Totally. And what's happening is as it's getting more and more well known, more and more Christians are talking about the blatant Christian discrimination that YouTube has against Christians. They really don't want you here, my Christian brothers and sisters. They really don't. There's not a Christian on YouTube that says, you know, I get the feeling that I feel welcome here. They really don't want you here. YouTube will allow you to be called a Christ fag on your comment channel, all types of things, and they really don't care. They actually want to perpetuate that. But listen, the good news is YouTube is a little pond. In the big pond, where real people fight the battle, like me, I live in the real world. I don't live on YouTube. In the real world, Christians are winning. Do you know Christianity is the most #1 powerful force and the largest force in the world, the best force for good? Everywhere where Christianity is preached, for example, women's rights have been elevated. Look at places where there is no Christianity and look at the rights of women, and you'll see, for example, in the Middle East, you'll see that they really have limited rights. Look at the official atheist China government that is actually killing Christians. Look at some of the countries where if you preach Jesus Christ, you will be killed. It's a capital punishment. No, Christianity is the force for good. Let us not be fooled. If atheism had its way, my brothers and sisters, you would not have the right to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Let us not be fooled for 1 minute. Look at Mao, Stalin, Hitler, who was totally atheistic and very much into the occult. On the National Geographic TV show and also on military.com, good channels that I watch. I love military.com. They were showing how Hitler was totally anti-Christian and very atheistic. He also believed a lot in the evolutionary process, where he wanted to kill the Jews so they could not evolve, and he wanted to evolve the German people. He totally was a Darwinist. He totally believed in Darwinism. Oh wait, I gotta go straight here. So, in the real world, and I'm going to tell you a little fairy tale here. Speaking of atheism, let me talk to you about a fairy tale. Because, you know, atheism is a fairy tale. Before I do that, before I tell you the fairy tale, listen to all the evils of atheism that I listed on my radio show. You're going to see shockanow.net pop up here. Go to www.shockanow.net and listen to the murders and killings that atheism has done throughout the history when you go to Shock Radio. Also look below this video, you'll see shockanow.net. Click that, and when you see the Shock Radio lightning bolt, click that and you'll be at the radio show. Make sure you listen to the show, The Madness of Atheism. I also had Ray Comfort on, and we went through on a lot of our shows. We took live calls and we proved that evolution is false. But here's the fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a squeaking little frog, and he lived in a little pond, but he was the biggest frog there. This frog's name was Atheism. The frog decided to venture outside his pond, but to his chagrin, when he went outside the pond into the bigger pond, he found other frogs there that didn't squeak, more powerful frogs than him, similar to the #1 group here, Christianity. So what he did is he knew he couldn't compete in the real world, the big pond, and he went back to his little tiny pond of YouTube, where he could be a big frog in a small pond, and he could squeak and squeak and pretend he was something big. Atheism, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't even make the top 15 largest groups and forces on our society. It is but a squeak. It is a squeak on society. In fact, for now on, I'm gonna do something new. When the atheists on YouTube email me and leave nasty comments, all I'm gonna respond with right below is I'm gonna click reply and type squeak. I think you should do the same thing too.